Millions of Americans could suddenly lose their power this winter as the nation's power grid deals with an increased strain. This is thanks to surging numbers of data centers opening. And now federal agencies are sounding the alarm here. So Texas is in the spotlight after just a couple of years of devastating outages during a historic winter storm. NewsNation's Xavier Walton, he's tracking this from Dallas for us. So Xavier, how much of that risk is really due to these data centers? What are you learning?
Kelly, good morning. Well, it certainly doesn't help, but in large part, yes, that is why. But energy watchdogs believe there are multiple reasons here for this elevated risk when you combine, the normal usage, the normal stress from winter, and then you have these AI data centers. And then plus you got to factor in the population boom as well. Hundreds of thousands of people have moved to Texas this year alone. You combine all of that, and that's where you get that elevated risk. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation says Texas has enough power for normal winter peaks, but still lists the state's independent grid operator, ERCOT, or Electric Reliability Council of Texas, as an elevated risk in cold snaps like the one we saw back in 2021 when 4.5 million Texans were without power for days. Now, in its latest winter reliability assessment, outages are unlikely in typical winter, but severe and prolonged frigid conditions could still trigger shortfalls in areas including Texas. Now, ERCOT's latest outlook says there's a slim chance for these rotating outages during typical conditions, but it gets much higher. Those chances get much higher if there's a cold Arctic blast like we saw back in 2021.
Right, that many are anticipating now maybe on the horizon. So, Xavier, how big is that data center built out in Texas? What are planners doing to stop it from pushing the grid, you could say, over the edge here?
Kelly, they're trying to be proactive, but to answer your first question, it's huge. And we've seen other states sort of deal with this same problem, AI center utility surges, if you will. ERCOT says that large load requests have nearly quadrupled in about a year's time to roughly nearly 220 plus gigawatts. To give everybody an idea of, how much that is, 220 plus gigawatts is roughly the same as 200 big nuclear power plants worth of demand knocking on the door. That's in addition. So about 3/4 of that is from AI data centers. So state regulators right now scrambling, the Public Utility Commission of Texas still trying to come up with a game plan, so to speak, and sort of play referee between the state's data center boom, but also trying to figure out the sheer volume of electricity they're going to take to use as well. And then you factor in the population boom, and then also just the sheer fact that it's winter right now.
Right. You got a lot to consider, a lot on the table there. All right, Xavier, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.